Good morning, good people. It's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. Speaking of New Year's, you know that's the theme of Motivation Monday today. So it's kind of ironic that this day, it falls and it goes hand in hand. So I had a few thoughts about what I wanted to say, kind of like what I wanted to talk about and everything. So I think the first thing I'm gonna bring up, as a trainer that has an athletic background, sometimes you forget that other people don't have that background. So when working out is really actually foreign to them. Like they don't know what to do when they go in the gym. Like they're really just a raw clay. Like you gotta like really spell everything out for them. In terms of running, everything like that. So sometimes as trainers we take that for granted. Lately, over the last few months, as the business has grown, I've ran into more and more clients that really have no background, so I'm having to to dig in more. As I've dug in more, I've learned about the intimidation factor and and the role confidence plays in people getting to the gym. And so I'm saying that to say, so it's the new year, new me. And look, all of us dedicated people, what do? We complain, oh, all the machines are taken up, and oh, here come all these people that aren't dedicated. Look, I'm guilty of it. I'm not even gonna sit there and lie. I've said it before. I've been that jerk. So I'm not sitting here trying to act holier than thou. But however, I'm gonna make a concerted effort this year, and it's not so much I'm trying to sign somebody as a client, but you see that, slightly overweight person, or really overweight person, or somebody that's just not familiar, they don't know what they're doing. We don't know what kind of courage it took to get for that person to come to the gym. We don't know how long they've been trying for 6 months and they just couldn't get it. They might have been sitting out in that car looking at the gym and they just couldn't do it because they were scared, and they finally have done it. And the last thing that you want to do is sit there and be mean to that person or make fun of them or look on them or anything like that. So then that person decides and they say, I don't want to do this anymore. Because that's the last thing we want to do, is turn people away from being healthy, making healthy choices. So I know I'm going to do it. Anybody within the sound of my voice, I encourage you, especially if you're dedicated, you've been doing this for a while. You see somebody that's struggling a little bit, doesn't know what they're doing with a machine or anything like that, or their form looks really off. Just tap them and say, hey, can I show you a little bit? Like, can I give you a little bit of advice here? Because that's just going to help that person. Like, you could do a lot for that person, and you do a lot for yourself at the same time, because hopefully you'll feel good, in terms of hey, I helped this person out. So that's number one. Number two, on the theme of New Year's, and I talked about this a little bit earlier today. But we have to make sure there's two things that I want to impress upon you. And I have about a minute and a half to impress them upon you. So hopefully you guys are really listening. Make a plan and be consistent. The reason why everybody's doing New Year, New Me, the reason why you're waiting for the New Year, everything like that, because it's two things. You either didn't have a plan and you weren't consistent. In most cases, you didn't do both. In some cases, you might have had a plan, but you just weren't consistent. You either made a plan that was too big, too grandiose, and then as you were going through, you're like, holy crap, this is just too much for me. Or you just didn't know what you were doing, so your plan was a little bit was lacking. You know what I'm saying? So as you were going through, like, oh, this isn't working, and you get discouraged and you quit. So you have to have a solid plan. Reach out to somebody. Look, I'm a trainer. Obviously, I want to, want as much business as possible. However, reach out to somebody that that's been doing something for a while and it's been working. So you say, how did you plan? How are you doing? What are you doing? And then replicate that. And then once you replicate it, start trying to add your own little tweaks to it. And then the consistency part. That's the most important thing. Like, if you can stay consistent, like relentlessly consistent, you're gonna make a difference. The gym is one of the few things in this world that you literally get out what you put in. If you go into the gym religiously and you're always working out hard, you will see the results, period. It's just science, it's fact, you know what I mean? So if you stay consistent, just like, I always use the Grand Canyon as an example, that, the Colorado River is consistent, just for millions and millions of years, and they created Grand Canyon. Do that in your life. So for the new year, create a plan, stick to it, and be consistent. Plan and consistent, plan and consistent, plan and consistent. Everybody have a happy new year. Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber or a Lyft. All right, y'all. Have a good one.